was a strong and friendly fella with the name of Campanella. He was someone special, I could see right off the bat. There was something.
Webcasting from the Little Bell Publishing Studios in Rockton, Illinois, this is The Mortgage Messenger with host Jim Campanella. Welcome to The Mortgage Messenger for the week ended July 9th. And now, the Week in Review. Well, as expected, and mentioned last week, with the holiday on Monday, rates were pretty stagnant. They were pretty stable. There was not a lot of activity going on. So last week did not bring us any sudden changes in rates. This week, however, there's the possibility that we may see some changes in the rates. Generally, since rates are at historic lows, any change is going to be up, but there's a possibility we may see that. We have retail sales coming out. We have the CPI, the PPI, which are inflation factors, and then consumer confidence wrapping the week up on Friday. Any of those could cause rates to spike up a little bit, depending on what the news may be. Last week, as you know, if you saw the podcast last week, if you haven't, certainly go back. But as you know, last week we did a little experiment and had a remote broadcast. I learned quickly that wind is a major factor when you're outside doing a remote broadcast, so that was an education. And I also have learned that our equipment that I'm currently using does leave a little room for improvement. So over the next few weeks we'll be improving on the systems. As you can see here, the computer equipment we're using is a little antiquated. Okay, that's not really the computer equipment we're using. However, for those that are into computers, this is the very first computer I started with. I believe I purchased it right out of high school, the TRS-80. It was exciting at the time. 4K of memory. And then we upgraded with an expansion interface to 16K. Today, of course, the computers are a lot more sophisticated than that. But they're also more sophisticated than the equipment I'm currently using. So over the next few weeks we'll be upgrading the equipment so that we can actually bring you some more remote broadcasts. Go out there, have some interviews with some professionals, and really enhance the quality of the video blogs. And now it's time for viewer email. If you should have any questions you would like answered in a future podcast, send an email to mortgagemessenger@gmail.com. We did pick up one question out there from an email, I believe it was, and that is there any tips that you can, quick tips that you can suggest for getting ready to purchase a home? The person was not quite ready, but wanted to prepare. And that's a great question, and with that we bring you this new segment. And now the Mortgage Messenger presents the tip of the week. Okay, today's tip of the week is that if you're renting currently, and this is a basic tip, but if you're renting currently, whether it's from a family member with an option to buy or just paying rent, keep receipts. I'm not talking the receipts they print for you. I'm talking receipts as in like copies of the canceled check. If you're paying by money order, your money order receipts. If you're paying by cashier's check, the cashier's check receipts. Keep your receipts. With underwriting the way it is now, we are going to need 12 months of evidence that you've been paying your rent. And again, it could be a family member, it could be it doesn't matter. We're going to need 12 months of evidence. So do not be paying cash to your landlord. The receipts that you get from the landlord does not do us any good. You need to have receipts. So if you're going to pay cash, go to the currency exchange, go to Walmart, go to the post office, buy yourself a money order, and pay that way so that you have a receipt. You're going to need to keep a little file folder, and that's what I suggest, is create a file folder and just put your receipts in there so that when it comes time to purchase your home, you can produce your 12 receipts showing that you've been paying your rent on time. As always, if you have a Kindle, you can subscribe to us via the blogs with the keyword Mortgage Messenger. iTunes, you can download our podcasts. And of course, if you have an iPhone, iPad, or iPod Touch, we are currently an app. Well, I can see by the clock on the wall outside the studio windows, it's time for us to close. So, with that, until next time, thank you for viewing.
I can't forget you, Campanella. You're still the MVP within my heart. You're still the MVP within my heart.